Let us prepare ourselves for the evening meditation. Preparation for meditation is a process of stilling the mind when it's been so active throughout the day. At the end of the day, the mind is still reeling from all the various points and counterpoints of the day, all the various reactions, all the various events, some of them sweet, some of them may be bitter, some of them may be smooth, some of them may be rough encounters. To stabilize the mind in the evening, we have to think of how nature has dealt with her own series of ups and downs. And there we find a rhythm. The rhythm of evening starts with all the animals, all the birds returning to their nests, and a calmness descends along with the sun. What a wonderful arrangement it is that allows the nightfall to bring stillness to nature. Let us embrace this stillness, let us absorb it, let us feel one with it. Let us simply sit in simplicity, not doing anything, not thinking anything, not moving. This is not a state of morbidity or laziness, but it is a state of awareness. So let us start by being aware of how we are seated. Let us feel the connection with the Mother Earth. Mother Earth has an inner core magnetic pull that allows the body to sit, not to fly off. The body itself is constructed in such a way that as one is seated, when the hips are pushed forward, spontaneously the back is pushed upright. We know somebody is alert and aware when the spine is straight. Let us feel the freedom that this gives us. Just feel how the nervous energy, whose highway is the spinal cord, is allowed a freedom. Throughout the day, all the vertebrae act as constrictions with the heavy weight of the skull at the top, putting increasing compression. Let us try to stretch a little bit and release the spine. The erectness of the spine is one of the keys to our superb humanity, the complex organism of the human body, whose hip arrangement allows walking. It's a wonderful machine. Let us be thankful that we are able to sit and be aware, just generally, of the gravity that pulls us down, of the possibilities contained within the spine, and of all the possibilities that there are, locked and contained within every single part of the body, down to the minutest cell that has an inner structure, condensed and wound up tightly, containing our whole architectural plan. Sitting like this, let us be a recipient. Let us be the recipient of the grace that is flowing from all sides. Let us tangibly feel this as warmth, as inner waves, as vibrations. Let us feel it in the act of breathing. Let us shift our awareness from part to part. Sometimes at the nose, where we feel the effects of the out-breath. Sometimes at the left eye. Sometimes at the right. Sometimes the tip of the nose. Sometimes the top of the head. Let us get used to arranging the lever of awareness, shifting our attention from part to part, doing it easily and naturally, knowing that our attention is a lever separate from the body that we can use to bring all our awareness to one point and then another. Where the ribs part, let us draw our attention to that hollow, that solar plexus. Let us feel that we are in touch with raw existence. What is life? Is an age-old question. We may not know, we may not understand, but we feel life at that center. The sure thing that we are most aware of is that we exist. We will never stop feeling that we exist. We exist eternally. Now let us open our hearts to all things that exist. Opening our hearts to every single object and part, to every person, to every part of the vegetative life, such as trees and flowers and grass and earth. Let us not be in a hurry. Let us locate and bless every form that we can imagine. At the end of a day, what jumps into the mind are the recent events of the day. Let them come. Allow them to drift on. These are all from the past. There is no point in reviving them unless they are useful to us. Let us share our blessings to the farthest corners of existence itself. By now, in the evening, the sun has descended. If we are lucky, on a clear night with a clear sky, our vision can penetrate the clouds that surround the globe. We can peer into the darkness of the night. We can catch a glimpse of the infinite void. Do not for a moment think that this is a true void. Do not think that this is emptiness. It is charged with the same existence that is found in your solar plexus. It has returned now to the body and its awareness. It has observed not only the sensations that yield themselves readily to our awareness, the grosser sensations, but also the subtler ones. If possible, do not give the sensations any names such as burning or numbness or pricking or itching or cold. Just feel the sensations without putting a label on them. Now do the same with sounds. Even in the so-called silence in which you sit, there are sounds. Try to capture as many of them as possible. Don't try to identify the sources of the sounds. Just listen. Listen to the sounds without putting a label. And as you proceed with this shift of awareness, I am sure by now you will notice a great peacefulness coming upon you, a deep silence. Become aware of this peacefulness and this silence. Feel how good it is to be here now, to have nothing to do, to just be. Just be. Now let us, in this moment, express ourselves. Express ourselves non-verbally, stirring our deepest feelings to that highest being within you, around you, and beyond you. Imagine that you have no speech, that you can only communicate with your eyes and your breathing. Say to your highest chosen ideal, non-verbally, something like, Lord, it is good to be here with you. Repeat it. Now cease even this communication. Don't communicate with this Lord at all. Just rest in that divine presence. This presence can be found everywhere. but it is found mostly in the virtue of strength. Today is Swami Vivekananda's birthday. When asked what he meditates on, he said, "The lion's heart." Let us try and understand what did he mean by this. When we become aware of pure existence, what is registered as living and life? If we think of ourselves in an individual way, we will not have strength. Where does this strength come from? The lion is a great example of such strength. It dominates everywhere in a regal way. What did Swami Vivekananda mean? He meant that the heart of the lion is a heart that represents courage. Let us visualize our own heart. That area, deep inside all the superficial layers and levels, such as skin, bones, body, mind, intellect, ego. Let us find that glorious opening which is blissful. And within that bliss is the heart of the hearts. It is bold, it is existent, it is pulsing with life. It is the giver of life. It is pure being. It is existence itself. And sinking down deeply into this internal presence, we find oneness. And it is that same oneness that expresses itself as the beauty of a mountain. With a glistening, calm lake in front. It is no wonder that in the glory of the most glorious mountains of the Himalayas, there we find the image of Shiva, the most auspicious one, meditating. From his hair, waters and rivers flow, blue in color like the mountains, steady in meditation. A pure manifestation of this pure being. Let us find this pure being in the sky beyond it, in the crescent of the moon that hides behind the crescent of the mountain. The whole scene bathed in purifying, calm moonlight, reflected on the waters. Let us assert this is the same pure being. whatever scene comes to our mind. That is nature at its most beautiful. Let us see that it contains the stillness of pure being. Let us find that divine being in the very breath of the body. Let us find that pure being in the air that enters into the breath. Let us find that pure being in all sounds around you. Let us find that pure being in the sensations in your body. Feel and see this pure being in the air, in the sounds, and in the sensations. Just rest in this whole world of the senses. Just rest in pure being. Let us surrender to this whole world of the senses. Sounds, tactile sensations, colors. And let us surrender to this pure being. This pure being, when manifest in a mountain-like form, has within it the processes of creation, preservation, and dissolution. Iconography represents the trident it holds, as that Shiva being the master of these three things: creation, preservation, and dissolution, as well as the three great combined forces of nature. Yet when that being gets up and dances to the sound of the small drum, the damaru, producing all kinds of sounds, ayun, yirik, and so on, in 14 different ways, containing the alphabets arranged in the most ingenious way. And so this drum represents the science of language, the expression of every vibration. It is this dynamic aspect that we see when that Shiva stands on one leg, raising the other one, beating the drum, and dancing a frenzied dance. And we call this life. What is life? Life is Shiva dancing. That same pure being that we feel connect with and become one with in the depths of the heart. Let us ever be connected to this pure existence that gives us strength, the strength of a lion's heart. For there is nothing to fear if the whole of nature is Shiva dancing. And there is nothing to fear when the dance ceases. And there is nothing to fear in the calmness and peace that passes all understanding in deep meditation. There is nothing to fear in the sounds. There is nothing to fear in the sights. For all is one and only one. This pure existence that can be registered as thou art that, thou art that. Let us linger in this feeling of pure existence. Let us now know and understand what is life, so that when we resume our own dance in the world, we can view it in a new way, with a lion's heart and no fear, for all is one. Let us continue to sit in this feeling of pure being. Do not get up immediately. Arouse the life in your body. Open the eyes in your own time. Stretch your limbs. For those who want to continue the feeling of this pure being and meditate, do so. For others, get up slowly. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.